going on, everyone? This is City Wrestling Radio, and this is City Wrestling Radio Retro Reviews. I'm your host. I'm Corey Smith, hanging out in the Diamond Studio. No Diamond Mine relation. They took the name from us, but it's Roderick Strong and Malcolm Bivens. We'll let them have it. Nonetheless, I'm Corey Smith, hanging out here at Diamond Studio with my co-host, the ever so lovely and talented Mr. Jose Oseguera.
How are you doing, Mr. Smith? And how's everybody there in YouTube land doing? I hope you're doing well. And we're in December, so happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, everybody.
And as Big E celebrates the tradition of Festivus.
For the rest of us.
Yeah, did you notice that in the past couple weeks he's had a Festivus gear?
I did not notice.
It says Happy Festivus on his...
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to tune in.
So Big E confirmed Seinfeld fan. So
who's not?
You know, doing a little yada, yada, yada. But nonetheless, we're here to talk...
Enthusiasm is awesome this year.
We're not here to talk about Big E. We're here to talk about STARRCADE 1997. Sting, Hulk Hogan, the climax of a 15-month build?
Just about, yes, from summer to summer and then on into the winter.
And then some.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to talk about the entire show. We're going to go through it. The good, the bad, and the ever so Steve Mongo McMichael, Bill Goldberg, ugly.
Whoa. Let's not say that's the ugly moment.
There was plenty of ugly moments on this show.
I could point out a few that were uglier.
But we're going to get into all that. Before we do, don't forget.
You almost spilled it.
Don't forget to check us out on social media, because that's what makes podcasts live. We thrive. It's like the blood vein of a podcast is our social media. So check us out on Instagram. That's at City Wrestling Radio, and that's the same for Facebook at City Wrestling Radio. But if you want to check us out on Twitter, that's at CWR415. But yeah, so I guess we'll get right into it. WCW STARRCADE. Jose, what did you think of the show overall?
So much build, so much emotion, so much anticipation. So this could be the biggest and the best wrestling event ever.
That's how it was booked the entire night.
Yeah, it had the potential though, but it never lived up to it. And we have a lot to say about the main event. Lackluster undercard. You would think it'd be a little bit better. I mean, with all the different personalities you had at the time, you think you'd come up with a better undercard, but it didn't really. I don't know. It just never really reached that peak for me.
Yeah, so basically STARRCADE 1997, we say, is the culmination of a 15-month storyline of Sting going after Hulk Hogan for the title and trying to take out the NWO, and winning the title. Also, it was kind of like, I feel, it was kind of the first nail in the heart of the NWO.
Oh, they jumped the shark right after this event, yeah.
Yeah, because it was... Because I'm seeing afterwards, okay, because Eric Bischoff faces Larry Zbyszko later for control of Monday Nitro, which I was like, what? But apparently J.J. Dillon allowed Zbyszko to represent WCW to wrestle Bischoff. I don't know why he didn't just pick Goldberg or someone like that, but hey, there you go.
Well, they were both in the announce booth at the time. I'm assuming that's the logic.
And this is all WCW... trying to show unity against the NWO. But I don't know. I felt like it was just a bunch of flusteredness all night with everyone.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people missing from the show too. And what's funny? There's a lot of NWO themes I don't remember. They're all just generic guitar riffs.
And kind of like remixes of the original NWO theme.
Yeah, but they're always just the same, like new world order for life. So it was just funny.
And we didn't get Voodoo Child. You think for STARRCADE 97,
well,
at least for this paper,
we don't get Voodoo Child on anything anymore on Peacock, man.
Yeah, to continue the thread, no soup for you.
So leading up to this pay-per-view, the Nitro, did you watch the Nitro before?
I did not. Well, I mean, I did, but not in lead up to this.
You're like, I did in 1997.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Nitro before this pay-per-view, within the first, like, I'm kind of confused because a lot of reports say after the first hour, the NWO takes over, and this is where the historical NWO Monday Nitro takes place, where they put, banners that say NWO Nitro. They give everyone a shirt that says NWO Monday Nitro. They're asking out all the ring announcers, are you with us? Are you against us? And I just realized my background is not playing, so...
Edit.
And I was on such a roll, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're always going to have this jinx above us. No, you guys aren't ready. Not 100%.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
It was teased.
So, no, I'm kidding. So basically, where was I?
Monday Nitro, they had...
Monday Nitro leading up to this.
Was Nitro 2 hours or 1 hour? I mean, was it
okay,
2 hours or 3 hours?
This is what I'm confused by, because a lot of reports say, after the first hour, NWO took over, and then the next 2 hours was NWO Nitro.
2 hours?
Yeah, the next 2 hours.
Wow, I remember 1 hour, but
here's the thing, because when you watch the episode of Nitro, when Bischoff's on the microphone, he's saying, "You want to go 3 hours? Let's go 3 hours." So
okay,
I don't know what
that may have been the debut of 3 hours, because they were going head to head with Raw. I remember Raw after the first hour, and they went into the 9 o'clock or the 10 o'clock hour. Raw became Raw is War.
Yeah, or the War Zone or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that was because they were able to differentiate the two shows. Like one could be TV MA and the other one could be TV 14.
Mm-hmm. And it was I think it started at 9 and went on to 11, right?
Yeah.
So they had that breaking point. Okay, at 10 o'clock, just like with South Park. I think South Park actually led the way here. At 10 o'clock, you could say the word shit.
Yeah.
And from then on, the USA was like, ha ha ha, loophole.
So anyways, but then when I watched on Peacock this episode, it was within the first 30 minutes that NWO took over. So
special edition.
Yeah. The NWO took over Monday Nitro, and kind of a premature celebration, basically saying this is what you're going to see every Monday night from here on out. It was a kind of cool little segment. I don't know. I always like takeovers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like NXT takeovers, but I also like...
rest in peace.
Yeah. But I also like when Nexus took over WWE ring, when, anyone takes over a ring area. I think it's awesome. It's cool. Gang mentality in wrestling, who doesn't love it? But then we come to STARRCADE, where, like I said, it's pretty much NWO versus WCW all night. The show kicks off with a preview of Crow 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's a package for Sting.
Pretty effing cool, man.
It's cool. I'm not going to lie, but it is shot for shot a Sting ripoff or a Crow ripoff.
Sure.
I don't know. I know we've accepted it over the years, and Sting has, I think, grown in popularity to above Brandon Lee's portrayal of the Crow.
Yeah.
And the Crow character in general. But
Sting is what keeps it alive. Will we still be talking about the Crow, 40 years later?
That's what I'm saying. So I think Sting is he's taken that look. You think of people with those looks that are most famous, you think Sting, you think Crow, then you think Chessman. Yeah. And
I mean, he's still referred to in the internet as, the Crow Sting.
Yeah.
Whenever he changes his face paint a little bit, he's, he got rid of the Crow Sting look. Now he's the Darby Sting.
Well, this a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wonder if he'll ever return. He's still wrestling nowadays lightly in AEW, but I wonder if he'll ever bust out Surfer Sting again, I wonder if
he ain't coming back.
Ever see that in some respects or another. Maybe with some board shorts or something. I don't know.
He would have to shave his head completely off.
I think if they just no face paint, just give him some Just let him be Surfer Sting without the face paint, just in like a shot, like background, just like, what's up, guys?
Yeah. And
Like
he would
if-
have to be bald, right?
Well,
Like he couldn't go
no.
blonde again.
No. Just, I'm not saying go blonde. I'm just saying, like, get Sting out of face paint a couple times. I like that. I enjoy that.
They bring on the jacket with the tassels.
Yeah. So basically, all WCW talent has attended this show, and we are told that they have all bought tickets with their own money. Which
you're cheap, WCW.
I don't know.
Turner.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Dude, they gypped them. Oh, no, it's okay. I'll pay for tickets.
Well, at the same time, it's like, how many extra seats did they have to let? There was a good amount of people in the crowd. You had Mortis, you had Alex Wright, Rey Mysterio Jr., Harlem Heat, Sonny Ono eating a bucket of popcorn all night.
Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah, Ultimo Dragon. Everyone was in the crowd pretty much.
Mortis. Did you say Mortis? Yeah, Mortis was there.
What's his name? The former NXT trainer that like Bill DeMont. Was that Huge Erection or what was his name?
Hugh Morris.
Hugh Morris. Yeah. So,
and I think he was Huge Erection too.
So then we're also told that Nash isn't going to be here tonight. There are some conflicting reports of what happened to Nash.
Let's hear him.
Well, a lot of people, a lot of people speculated, he didn't want to do the job to the Giant, which I think is kind of dumb because you're a wrestler and, it's your job.
He's done favors before.
He's done jobs. He's done plenty of jobs in his career.
Mm-hmm.
There was also the report by Dave Meltzer that Nash suffered a heart attack.
What? I've never heard this.
So basically what happened is heart attacks, his father died of a heart attack at a young age. And so therefore he was having some symptoms that he thought were related to a heart attack. He went to the hospital and turns out, according to Eric Bischoff on the 83 Weeks podcast, that it wasn't a heart attack, more so than something to do with his leg workout creating an enzyme to create some sort of reaction. So basically he was having some issues, feeling like he was having a heart attack. He wasn't having a heart attack. He was pulled from the show. And also not just Nash being gone from the show, but Conan is missing from the show too. Reports are that Conan, I believe his girlfriend at the time, or it was his wife, I don't remember which one it was. I'm not saying like which one, like he had two, but I can't remember if it was his wife or
at the time,
if he was married to this woman or not. I guess like I gave like early birth to a stillborn, and he couldn't leave Mexico. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. We move on to the first match of the night, and that's going to be Dean Malenko.
Whoa! You're skipping over one major.
What's that?
It's that apparently they put a whole bunch of names in a hat, and they pulled out the referee.
That was later. We're told that, but okay, we'll talk about that anyway.
Okay, they kind of went over it. The ref was to be decided by name out of a hat. We'll talk to you about it a little later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Well,
yeah, because the announcers announced this. It wasn't J.J. Dillon. Dillon talked about it later on.
Yeah, we'll get there. But Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight Championship. So, first off, Dean Malenko is haunting our WCW reviews.
Yeah, it looks like he loves our show.
When people say when somebody's passed and they say beyond the grave, what's when somebody's living? What's not beyond? In front of? He's haunting us from in front of the grave, which I guess is fucked up to say, but he's haunting us from AEW, the AEW trainers room.
Yeah,
because this is two times
haunting us. Yeah,
it's 2 times in a row for WCW pay-per-views that he's opened the show
from different years.
Yeah, 1996 and 1997, both for the Cruiserweight title. Different results though. In the first time in Havoc 96, he won the title, and against Eddie Guerrero, who was a larger Cruiserweight, he did not. But apparently he was not very happy about being here at STARRCADE that night because he and his wife gave birth on the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And STARRCADE, what was it? STARRCADE took place on the 29th, I believe.
Yeah.
So Apparently, he kept letting WCW office know, and they never booked a replacement match, and he just kind of, I gotta be there.
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
Exactly. So this match, I mean, what can I say? It was a good match, and it was the best match of the show, Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero, but it wasn't by far either of their best matches. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. It wasn't. First of all, crowd is effing hot for the opener. They are ready to go. They are jacked and juiced, and yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, this match could have been 1,000 times better, but we're not in Japan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I know, but I don't know. Yeah. I've even seen better matches in WCW
on Nitro and stuff, right?
Yeah. So Eddie putting some distance between him and Malenko, using the official Charles Robinson, who doesn't look a day older than he did in 1997. Despite Guerrero getting the first strikes on Malenko quickly took over with a series of strikes back and forth between the two. We get an eye poke to Malenko, spinning stomps to Malenko. Eddie goes for a suplex, but Malenko hits a series of knees to Eddie. Then Eddie hits a front falling suplex onto the ropes. Then Eddie powers Malenko into the corner with multiple shoulder thrusts. I don't know what I was trying to type there, but hey, it was thrust.
Yeah.
Malenko goes for the suplex, and Eddie escapes the maneuver over the ropes and hits Malenko's neck on the ropes, which looked pretty devastating to me. I mean, in my opinion, because he got out of the, you know what I mean? And then got out of the suplex and then snap mirrored him onto the ropes.
Yeah.
Going out of the ring. Mm-hmm. So, Dean goes for the clover leaf, but his knee is too weakened. The Eddie powers out quickly. Eddie hits a missile dropkick to Malenko's knee. Eddie runs to the other side of the ring, hits a frog splash, because, you know, Eddie's feeling froggy. Sorry, that's the one time I'll ever do that ever again, because I fucking hate it. I hate it so much. Anytime anybody hits a frog splash now, oh, somebody's feeling froggy.
Yeah. And it feels like if you're Mexican, it's a prerequisite to do the shoulder shimmy.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Yeah.
Come on, you guys. I know. I hear you, man. So he hits the frog splash, gets the pin on Dean Malenko. Good match. Not, like I said, good match. Best match of the show. But hey, I don't really think it's setting a high bar.
Yeah, no, but I do want to give praise to Eddie's work when he's doing the logic on Dean Malenko's legs. That's some innovative stuff that he was going through. And for, 1997 to 2021, you don't see much logic like that nowadays.
No, I mean, I hear you.
Big ups, old school.
Good match. There were a few miscommunications, and it felt like this was nowhere near each man's best match, but far from it. But hey, it was a good match. Scott Hall comes to the ring. He does his shtick. He does his survey. Hey, which bad guys win? Good guys 0.
Mm-hmm.
He basically lets us know that big sexy Kevin Nash will not be there tonight. And he says, hey, Giant, you won. Ooh. I don't know. Looking back at Scott Hall, I just like, are you drunk, dude? He seemed a little tipsy, and he wasn't wrestling, so why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like me personally,
let me just get some juice to get
if
happy.
my work was like, hey, hang out all night, I'd be like, all right. Can I have a drink? Yeah, sure. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I just want to say that I want one of those outsider t-shirts.
Yeah.
The simplest t-shirt. It's not that great, but
I think you can
it's dope. I think it's pretty cool.
I think you might have to give in and give WWE some money for that.
Yeah, right.
I can't do it, man. I've given WWE too much money over the years, and now I'm just like, I don't know. It's, to me,
I had enough.
Some of the stuff that they say, it's just, first off, I'm not even really buying a lot of, I'll buy shirts like this, like a War Games shirt. Look, look, it's a classic War Games match right there. See, look, there's Dakota Kai, there's Raquel Gonzalez, there's Mandy Rose right there. That's Toxic Attraction. Wow. NXT 2.0 War Games shirt. Kidding. I don't even know which War Games this is, but anyways.
Who's really on it?
I have no fucking clue, dude.
I can't tell.
No, I have no idea.
I was there
They're
in
just
person.
like, I'm guessing probably like 4 horsemen.
Okay, the Four Horsemen, they were in every single War Games. I'm thinking maybe the Road Warriors, Sting and Dusty.
Sure, sounds good. I like that match. Then we move on. Oh yeah, Giant comes out. He beats down Hall. He hits the jackknife power bomb on Hall. So then we get our next match of the night. We get a 6-man tag. The NWO, Scott Norton, Vincent, and sorry for peeking the microphone, but hey, Vincent and Macho Man, the returning Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, one thing that annoys me is when there's always like the mystery partner, but it's like the 2 people will come out first, then the 3 opponents, and then the mystery partner for the first team will come out. I know it's stupid. I know the things I pay attention to, things like that, are dumb sometimes. A lot of people don't care. They want to hear about like.
But it's so easily solved. Just have the mystery partner and that team come in second. There, problem solved.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have this weird, OCD agita you're putting people through. Yeah.
So yeah, Macho Man's returning because, like I said, Konan's not a part of this match. Apparently, Macho Man was put in, like I said, last minute because Konan's not here.
Well, how can you not have Macho Man on the show to begin with?
Well,
this is Starrcade.
That's true. That's true. Well, Konnan and Vincent and Scott Norton. Apparently the reasoning for it was Eric Bischoff going on, something about like, a movie, the second act isn't as big as the last act of a movie. So, which I could kind of get behind.
We're still in the first act.
Yeah. Well, he's saying like the first act, it shouldn't be as big. It should be like big, bigger, 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 biggest. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. But you have to tell the story though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to establish the characters, establish the night, the vibe of the night. You have to establish all that. And okay, Randy actually in this position is good. But if Konnan wasn't absent, there would be no Macho Man at all.
Yeah. Well, they had to have Vincent on the show. So.
They had to. Yeah. He showed up like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, he did. He was like the NWO leader at that point.
Can we talk about how Liz just got hotter and hotter as time going on?
She's pretty, very, very pretty lady. I don't know. I mean, I always thought she looked pretty good. She looked like, I don't know, I'm fucking or objectifying a dead woman, but
I'm giving her props. I'm sorry.
She looked good. Whenever in every era. Let's move on. Macho Man tags pretty much. He takes the entire length of his NWO theme to get to the ring, which I thought was funny. Like he literally the end of the theme song played of the NWO theme.
What is this? New Japan?
It's like your second New Japan reference tonight.
Oh my god!
Well, we do have Scott Norton, former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, in this match. So
number 3 reference.
That's like an ant crawling on me somewhere. So basically, NWO is facing the Steiner brothers and Ray Taylor, the former Big Boss Man. Ray Trailer. I'm sorry. Trailer. He's just. I don't like the Big Boss Man. Like when I was a kid, I dressed like him one year. But I was like 3 or 4.
So it probably wasn't your choice.
And it was one of those ones where it was just like the full suit. You just put it over your clothes and then you put the mask on, like the plastic mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. But he's wearing like a sweatshirt with the sleeves cut off and leather pants. Like it's not flattering, and he doesn't look good in the ring. And I don't know. We're 2 for 2 now talking about people who've passed, but like.
I'm sure it's not his fault. We're in the reality era. So I'm sure Eric Bischoff was like, why don't you just wear something you wear around the house? What'd you wear to the bar yesterday?
Wear around the house. He like walks in with a boxer briefs, like holes in it, like holes.
Bunny
just, like,
slippers.
Yeah.
One bunny, one dragon.
Yeah. He's got like, couldn't find one. I had to use one of my wives. So let's talk about this match.
Okay, this is a boring match, right?
Yeah, it sucked. I kind of dozed off during it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept waking up, but I don't know. It was just one of those ones I just didn't care about. There was no build to it. It was just NWO versus WCW.
Yeah, and you know what? I did notice that they were like, they're doing this thing that we complain a lot about today's wrestling, where the faces act like heels.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were trying to plant the seeds for Scott Steiner's turn, but it felt like he was totally a heel in this match.
Scott Steiner. You saw Scott Steiner, not Scott Norton, right? You said
Scott Steiner,
yeah. Scott Steiner is a
the
total
big
heel.
booty daddy.
He's a total heel, no matter what. I got my thing going on right over here, Nash.
Oh my god! Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, we just talked about it too.
It's funny because I think even looking back, I've seen some matches where when him with the Steiner Brothers, when he had like long hair, and he was a total heel then too. Like he was kind of a dick, like in some of his like interviews.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but once he started growing that goatee, it was done. He was like,
yeah, oh yeah,
I want to go heel, JJ, Eric, let's go. So, I don't know. This match sucked though, but apparently the end of the match was changed because of the addition of Macho Man Randy Savage.
And the end was actually the highlight of the match.
So, Ray Taylor did one thing that was good and hit Vincent with a side slam. Is that what I wrote? Damn. The face is isolating Vincent.
Big Boss Man had a really cool side slam.
Eventually, Norton hits a fall-away slam, and Scott Steiner, on Scott Steiner, and Macho Man hits the elbow, the pin and win. I don't know. There we go. Macho Man gets his elbow. That's cool. That's always nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that CM Punk fucking elbow, but it's a Macho Man elbow, so it's the best one.
The best one. Other than what's her name? Oh, why am I blanking on her name?
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about?
Kairi Sane.
Yep.
Kairi Sane. She's like tiny, so she just floats through there. She's just like,
yeah. She
like,
goes full.
She goes up like 90 feet and then starts like slowly falling down, and then with the speed and velocity coming down, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, and I love that she goes full horizontal.
Yeah,
like her legs kick up over her head.
So this is when
behind the scenes highlights.
Behind the scenes,
we go behind the scenes next. I don't know why.
What's that?
That's what it says on the notes. We went behind the scenes, and then Mean Gene announces the website.
Maybe they were talking about the they were doing one of those. Go to WCWWrestling.com. At least they weren't like. At least they got with the times, because what was it, like a year prior? They're like, check us out on the internet. That's WCWWrestling.com. That's www.wcwwrestling.com.
Join us on the World Wide Web.
Now they're like, hey, we're on WCWWrestling.com. Check us out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And Chris Jericho wasn't there like, type this.
No, we had Eddie Guerrero this time.
Yeah.
And he was like in his like, I don't want to say like Target brand 90s t-shirt, mm-hmm. but like when you see him in the shirt, it's like, you can tell it's like, yeah, he probably bought that at Target for like $30.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. So JJ Dillon, he's with Mean Gene Okerlund. JJ, he says, in order to find a fair ref for tonight, they put all the names of the referees in a hat, and they will pick one at random. Which I don't know. Well, what do you think of this, Jose?
You're a multi-million-dollar company, and you're drawing names out of a hat.
Well, you know, he can't.
Even the NBA has a lottery ball thing going on. You can use, how many times this referee has been knocked out in the ring. Oh, this guy's 3, this guy none. How many times has this guy made the bad call? This guy 5 times, this guy 8 times. A million different things you could have done. No, let's draw a name out of a hat. I wonder who it's going to be.
And the name pulled was Nick Patrick.
Of course it is.
So, rumor and innuendo has it that it was supposed to be Earl Hebner.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
So, they were trying to get Earl Hebner for this show.
I think that's a bull cheese rumor. He was under WWF contract. He wasn't going to go anywhere. Vince wasn't going to let him go for one night.
Or did they fire him at the time? Didn't they fire him after the screw job?
I don't remember. So maybe you're coming to the wrong place.
Maybe they could have got Dave Hebner then, right?
Exactly.
Never trust a Hebner.
Maybe WWF had Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, but you really think because Bret Hart was hot at the time with Earl, and he had major heat with him. So yeah, that wouldn't have been a good idea.
You just see fucking Bret.
Because you saw he did take a swing at Nick Patrick. So
He's too good of a guy.
can you imagine if that was Earl? Oh my god.
So then we go to our next match of the night. The highlight reel is what I call it. Bill Goldberg, and not just Goldberg, but Bill Goldberg, facing Steve Mongo McMichael.
Okay, I don't remember where along his win streak is. I'm guessing around 175, maybe 100, 150. This is when they stopped taking count. Right?
Yeah, something like that, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So on my notes, I forgot this match happened. On my notes, the first line said, "Oh, this should be golden."
It should be Goldberg.
Yeah.
Get it? No.
Knee slapper.
Yeah. Sorry. I was basically, when I saw this pop on, I didn't know it was happening on the show, and because you picked this show, and I was like, oh my god. But I will say this, it didn't do anything for me. Like, either way. Like, it wasn't one of those matches where I was like, oh my god, this is such a horrible match. There were a few spots that looked bad.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a lot of enthusiasm. They tried to seem like they wanted to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll give them that. Were they good wrestlers? Was this a good wrestling match? No.
You're getting two super green football players.
But was it, did it seem like a scuffle? Yeah, it did. And I was cool with that. So
I was a little scared that someone would get hurt or someone would get busted open the wrong way and we would have a legit fight, super shoot. But luckily that didn't happen. Nobody got hurt. Everybody looked fine. I was entertained. It wasn't shitty.
Yeah, Mongo's Mongo.
He's gonna have miscues. He's not gonna take the right bump.
Well, did you see that spear he took?
Yeah.
Jesus. Usually if someone takes a spear, they hit the spear and the person falls back. Like, Goldberg hits the spear and Mongo just goes bam.
Yeah.
Like falls flat back. I was like,
and he's a football player too.
So it's like, oh my god. Yeah.
So he didn't know how to take a tackle.
So then they get the table out. Mongo is put on the apron and punched. He falls through the table. The crowd chants ECW.
And for some reason, after being put through a table, he mounts a comeback. He goes back in the ring. He goes, I'm fine. I shook it off.
Well, it's just a table. Wow.
I guess.
But anyways, long story short, Goldberg hits the jackhammer, the pin, and the win, and he continues the winning streak of Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, and they were referring to him as Goldberg. They dropped the bill.
Well, it said on his...
It was back and forth.
Yeah, they But like they did say, like I remember watching that episode of Nitro, and they were like, check us out, WCW Saturday night. We got Bill Goldberg in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And, he comes out, his lower third says Bill Goldberg. It doesn't say Goldberg. So
yeah, no, they weren't really in the business of cutting people's names up. Yeah.
Then we get Raven coming out to the ring. He saunters to the ring. When he gets to the ring, he says, when I came to WCW, I stated, I will not conform to their rules. I will not conform to their corporate structure. I always made sure certain stipulations were made, included that I would wrestle when, where, and who I want, and decide not to wrestle tonight.
Damn, apparently he has Hogan's contract. Whoa.
Apparently he was not medically cleared to wrestle.
So. Funny little side note here. In the previous match, or maybe in the little segments before, we saw, a flash of the Flock in the crowd.
Yeah.
We saw Billy Kidman. We saw all those guys, right? And I think Mike tonight was like, well, there's Raven. You wonder where the Flock is tonight. Bro, we just saw them. They're right there. They're right there on ringside.
Leading up to this, Raven has been kind of missing from the Flock.
Well, he wasn't in the Flock when they showed them in the crowd. Yeah. But man, why would you? Someone wasn't paying attention.
So he says he's going to wrestle when he wants, where he wants, and he won't wrestle tonight. And he says Perry Saturn is going to wrestle Chris Benoit tonight instead of him. So, okay, so we get Perry Saturn versus Chris Benoit. Now, doesn't Perry Saturn, this iteration of Perry Saturn, look like his name should be like Sergeant Rock, and he should be like a character in an anime or like a video game? Like,
and I think later on it gets even worse because he starts rocking a beret.
Yeah, well, like he has like this little flat top in the middle of his head. He's got like these big pants. They look like army pants.
And then the boots, yeah.
So he was kind of like the 1990s version of not Rocky Balboa, but Rambo.
Okay, I was thinking more of Rambo's other version is the dude from the Expendables.
Oh, that guy.
Sylvester Stallone in the I don't know his name.
I'm Sylvester Stallone.
I'm expendable.
How you doing? Hey Arnold, how you doing? So Benoit, he's on the mic. He's talking smack to Raven. Saturn attacks him from behind. They get some back and forth action. And also Perry Saturn, like I said, his name should be like Sergeant Rock. He looks like he would also be like, Guile from Street Fighter.
Yes.
Like his opposite. You know what I mean? Like he would be like his nemesis.
Like negative Guile.
Like Guile's like, oh, that's Sergeant Rock. We went to military school together, but he defected to the
like Ryu to Akuma.
He gave secrets
Akuza?
to exactly. Ryu to Akuma. You got Guile to Perry Saturn.
Yeah.
So then other flock members become more apparent at ringside. Kidman attempted something on the edge of the ring, but is knocked out by Benoit.
Oops.
Springboard elbow to Benoit by Sick Boy. A shooting star press to Benoit by Kidman off the side of the ring. We get a hangman leg drop to Benoit. We're informed that Raven he's also made this he's basically commissioner because he made this a Raven's Rule match. Which I don't know how he gets to do this.
Every match he has is Raven's Rules.
Question. This was supposed to be the big payoff for Raven, but never happened. Raven was supposed to be exposed as like this rich kid, like eventually, which makes sense the way this is booked. Like if he had money to back himself up like this, like he paid for all these stipulations to be in his contract, makes sense. But
he paid for all these cronies to follow him around. Yeah,
exactly. Like I'll support you guys. Like and he gets all the homeless kids, which is even weirder.
Meth head.
Yeah, all like the misguided drug.
Why does Kidman keep scratching his face?
He's addicted to methamphetamines.
God.
The character, not the real person.
Yeah. We know,
The character who's in the flock. I think he's had some troubled past.
Tori Wilson would not have relations with a meth head. I promise you that.
Well, I don't put that past her. Anyways, we get a modified brain buster to Benoit. We're shown another clip of the WCW roster in the crowd. And this is when we're told that they're paid to be here, their flight, hotel, and admission, which, like I said before, cheap.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question, though.
Yeah.
So can they be allowed to go into, they should be, right? Go into the back instead of buying concessions. Just go to catering and then come to.
No, Jose. They're not scheduled to be there. They're not on the schedule today. Can I just walk into my work on my day off and just start using the computer? No.
You should be able to.
I mean, I probably could. They'd probably be like, what are you doing here? I'll be like, I have to use the computer real quick. They're like, oh, okay, cool. But, no, I guess not. Because Sonny Ono's like eating a thing of popcorn the entire night. Benoit locks in a crossface on the outside, but is attacked by the flock. We get a long flying headbutt to Saturn eventually. The flock hit the ring. Raven and Benoit go face to face, and then with the help of Hammer, the former Van Hammer, Raven hits a double arm DDT to Benoit, which he wasn't medically cleared, so I don't know why they let him do that. Rings the Saturn to Benoit. We get the he just passes out. TKO, I guess, right? That's what we came up with that. Yeah. Sergeant Rock beats Chris Benoit. I really like this match, actually. I'll be honest, there was a lot of fuckery, but it was the flock. So you expected that. And Perry Saturn's really good. Chris Benoit's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Benoit, like I said, we've given that disclaimer before. Talking about the match. But yeah, it was good. And like I said,
Tony Schiavone actually stood out here. Like before, I used to think that he was a lame-o, right? But
really, actually,
yeah,
I didn't like Schiavone until recently.
Yeah, me too. I was know nothing kid. But now I appreciate Tony Schiavone's work. And rewatching this and listening to Tony call this match actually showed me that my instincts originally were not correct. My instincts today are a little bit better.
Well,
so good stuff, Tony Schiavone.
Was it Schiavone, Dusty, and who else? Who's commentating
for the pay-per-view?
Yeah. Was it Tenay?
Yeah,
it might have been Tenay.
Iron Mike Tenay.
Dusty is just Dusty, and Dusty is a commentator. See, Dusty, he won't do it. He doesn't seem like he does his research, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? He goes in. He says these two men, they tonight is the night where they come together. It's been building for months, and then they're gonna get going. They're gonna battle for that title, and then who comes out is the man. And he just kind of rambles, but it all makes sense eventually.
Yeah.
Like Dusty's like a roller coaster. He really is, because it's like, and he's trying, and all of a sudden it's just.
Yeah, and at first you're like, oh God, Grandpa, are you going anywhere with this? And at the end you're like, okay, you're right. Yeah, okay, I get it.
I love you, Dusty, but nonetheless, he does talk a lot of nonsense on commentary.
And now, what is the worst match of the night? The worst.
Buff Bagwell versus Lex Loser. Buff Bagwell.
Great joke, so witty.
Yeah.
So witty, that guy.
Well, it's the 90s, so. And I'm just not used to Luger with long hair. Like, I know he had it for most of his career.
Yeah, for me, that's tradition. I don't like him with short hair. That was weird to me.
I guess he just looks weird nonetheless, either way.
Yeah.
Buff seems like one of those guys.
You know what Lex Luger looks like?
What?
He looks like the real life Beta Ray Bill. Do you know who that is?
No.
It's that one guy that held Mjolnir in Marvel Comics.
The what? Who helped the what?
There's like this anti-Thor, right?
Okay.
He's from a different planet or different universe or different planet. And he has like a beak. Please look him up and you'll see what I'm talking about. Beta Ray Bill. That guy was able to pick up Thor's hammer. And he was a little bit more savage Thor, but he was worthy for some reason.
Okay.
Had the same uniform.
He wasn't. Was he the horse? Was he like a horse?
He looks like this is the guy that looks like a horse.
Okay.
That's what Lex Luger looks like the human version of Beta Ray Bill.
So okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Bagwell seems like one of those guys who cares too much about his looks, and he cared more about his looks than he cared about his actual technique in the ring.
It's because he was preparing for a career as a gigolo.
Could be. I wonder if he's still doing that. Probably not, because he's been in the hospital a few times. Bagwell bumped for Luger just for spitting his gum at him. The two exchange strikes, leading to Luger giving Bagwell a press slam. Bagwell is knocked to the outside, up the ramp. He's goes up to the ramp for Vincent. Bagwell gets up, back in the ring. Luger takes over. This goes on for some time. There's a lot of headlocks in this match.
I took a piss break in the middle of this. I don't know.
NWO began double teaming Luger.
Of course they did.
Bagwell would distract the ref, while Vincent would choke Luger because, Vincent, the vocal point of the NWO. Fans are focusing on the right, chanting something into the crowd. And this is when I decided you should never, ever have wrestlers in the crowd the entire night.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I think WCW or WWE, remember at NXT takeovers, they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's EC3?" And there'll be EC3 ringside, be like, "Hey, what's up?" He wouldn't be there all night. He'd be there for that shot, and then they'd walk him off.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they don't do that is because of this. People were paying too much of attention to the wrestlers in the crowd than they were to the wrestlers in the ring.
Yeah.
And you can tell these guys were getting pissed. You know what I mean?
Hey, Alex Wright, what are you telling Mortis? Hey.
Yeah, a German guy. What are you saying to Alex Wright? So there's a power slam to a torture rack. The ref is out. Macho Man comes out to stop it. Low blow to Luger. But what was it? I don't know. Luger takes Macho Man out. Like, he won't go down for that low blow. Puts Macho, it's like he came out, hit the low blow, and he wouldn't go down. and he puts Macho Man in the torture rack. And it's not until the former IWGP champion Scott Norton comes out, knocks out Luger with a studded belt, which everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's Ric Flair's dog collar," or not Ric Flair, but
Rick Steiner.
It could have been Ric Flair. It could have been belonged to his dog.
It's S&M.
Rick Steiner, you're right. Rick Steiner's dog collar. But to me, it's like I wonder, like how, like if this was all planned step by step. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Luger should have went down for that low blow.
Yeah.
And then Scott Norton, they were like, they just handed him the first thing that was near him. No, like not even. Like it was just sitting there, and they were like, "Here,
he left it.
Go out and hit him with this."
Where's Stevie Ray? We need a slapjack.
Damn, slapjacks.
He's in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in the front row.
Can I get that slapjack? He's like, "Oh yeah." So he, yeah. So I don't know. Luger gets beat by Bagwell. This is a horrible match, and I think then when I talk about like this match being the worst match of the night, I do honestly believe this match was worse than Goldberg versus Mongo. And it's because Mongo versus Goldberg was at least entertaining, at least had me watching. It at least those guys showed enthusiasm, whereas this match was a ton of headlocks and was a ton of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
And then for the finish, they just threw a whole bunch of spaghetti at the wall to see what stuck.
Exactly.
It was rough. It was rough. You know, one thing that we glanced over that I know everyone that watched this match glanced over.
What?
Is, do you remember what Lex Luger's former finisher in WWF was?
No. Torture.
It was the bionic forearm.
Oh, yeah.
He had that metal plate in his forearm.
Yeah.
He used that move here, and it got zero pop. Nobody remembered it. I remembered it. I was like, whoa, this is a finisher.
Yeah.
It was treated just like a regular
torture rack
Tuesday
now.
night. Yeah, well, a torture rack always looked good, even though you knew it didn't hurt. Yeah, and Macho Man,
and I can't forget Havoc '96 when Luger was just like, and Luger had a weird match in that situation too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Where like he wouldn't give up after the bell rang, and then he was like putting the torture rack in, and it seemed really weird.
Yeah, and like he didn't sell at all. Like he didn't sell losing at all. He just got right back up. Boop, boop, boop. Okay.
I think there's a case of no sellitis going on in WCW at this time. When
totally.
One person does it, when the big dog does it, when the big racist dog does it.
yeah.
You know, brother, I'm not gonna. It doesn't sound good, brother. So everyone does it. Let's see. What did I say? This was a horrible match. And the only thing good about it was the bullshit interference, and that's one of the best part of your match. It's what the fuck are you doing? So, next up, Diamond Dallas Page versus Curt Hennig.
Potentially can steal the show.
Some would consider the match of the night. People enjoyed this match. It was a good match. I don't think it was on par with Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero, but hey,
which is the match of the night, unfortunately.
So, I do love the lead up to this match at the pay-per-view or the Nitro before this, where DDP cuts the weirdest like promo.
I have to watch it now. Jeez.
Hey, he's like
such a tease.
He's like me. One thing you know about me, Diamond Dallas Page, I'm the Christmas guy, and he just starts talking about Christmas. It's like someone told him to go out there and said, do a fucking promo on Christmas. He's like, and he shows no enthusiasm. He's like, I'm the Christmas guy. You ask me and my wife, our whole house is lit up. I'm like,
oh my God.
Okay.
Well, what was it? That Nitro should have been what, the 23rd? The 22nd, 23rd, right?
Something like that, yeah. Well, this was the 29th, so 6 days prior, yeah. So before Christmas, and this was after Christmas. STARRCADE was after Christmas.
Yeah, so it was like somebody had to talk about Christmas, right?
It's true. So Curt Hennig is also, he's like the least NWO member of the NWO.
He doesn't rock the shirt. He rocks his own gear.
He doesn't even rock the colors. Like if he wore black and white, that would make sense.
Was his music NWO?
Yeah, he came out to NWO music. That's the one thing.
No, he came out in black and hot pink, I think, right?
It was black and blue.
Okay.
So Hennig is working on the taped ribs of Diamond Dallas Page. They battle on the outside. Diamond Dallas Page is thrown into the stairs. And DDP's bandages had some sort of padding underneath, which
Yeah.
I thought was either A, his ribs were actually taped up, or B, like, hey, that's kind of smart to put some padding in there or something because it makes it a little bit more believable.
Yeah, no, he had some back issues back then.
So this is before yoga.
This is before yoga. This is what led to the yoga.
Yeah. Henning has the longest headlock on DDP. DDP is trying to get the crowd to start chanting, but they are dead, focusing on the wrestlers in the crowd. Jawbreaker to Henning, back and forth strikes leading to Henning being punched out of the ring. DDP hits a plancha to the outside. They battle into the crowd, but just as far as the invisible walls of the video game let them.
That's a good line.
You know what I mean, though? Because, like, there was, like, games, I can't remember which ones it was, but, like, wrestling games now, you can, like, battle into the crowd and whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, at a certain point, the first time you can battle into the crowd, you'd only be able to go over the barrier for, like, this little section in the left, right? Yeah. You know, like in the four corners.
No, and then if you hit the run button, you just kind of run in place.
Yeah, exactly. Then you stopped, and then Kane would hit you, and you're like, fuck!
Ah, come on.
Yeah. They battle into the crowd, like I said. Wishbone to Henning. DDP goes for the diamond cutter, but Henning would hold the rope. Kind of looked like he hurt himself at that point. DDP went for the diamond cutter, and this was, a lot of people did this reversal to the diamond cutter, and I hated it, whereas the people would just hold the rope, and then DDP would fall, and it just looked like there was a mistimed issue, or it looked like it was botched completely. You know what I'm saying?
They would use that for a lot of moves, like the DDT. People get out of that way.
But yeah, just do the push them off.
Yeah, you know? that it looked better too, doing that, just pushing off.
And DDP goes for the diamond cutter. He hurt himself, but then he does hit the diamond cutter and gets the pin.
Diamond cutter out of nowhere.
Pin in the win. DDP becomes the United States champion, and that's the title. That's the title that was in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
That was the title. Like that. When is Super Brawl? Because there's a Super Brawl coming up after that. I think it's Super Brawl 8.
Yeah, Sold Out is next, and then Uncensored, and then Super Brawl.
So Super Brawl 8 took place.
Where did Uncensored happen first?
February 22nd, 1998.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So mere months later in San Francisco, DDP did a fucking, I mean, I think I've told this story before, but DDP did a autograph signing.
You told it a long time ago.
I wandered into the autograph signing before Super Brawl, and like they were like, he's like, picture, and I'm like, yeah, and he goes, where's your ticket? And I go, I don't have a ticket. And he's like, how much money you got? I was like, I only have like $10. And he's like, get up here, kid. He still took my $10.
Yeah.
But he let me hold the U.S. title, like hold it, and then he held my head in the diamond cutter, like that. And I so wish I had that picture still. It was so cool,
dude. I was such a DDP mark back then. Even when he was on that Vegas tip, I always liked him. I always knew he was kind of that self high five shit that he used to do.
Yeah,
I used to love it. I was like, oh, this is better than Barry Horowitz. He used to pat his back.
I'm doing it. See, look at self high five. Is this a self high five or is this a self high five?
This one.
Self high five. Okay. DDP walks out through the crowd.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about
DDP, came out to that Nirvana copycat music.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about DDP. DDP is something that that very few wrestlers have. Dusty Rhodes had it. Diamond Dallas Page had it. John Moxley has it. And it's realness. It's a connection with the fans. The fans look at that wrestler and they see themselves in them. You know, that's what they saw in Dusty.
I hate the term, but it holds true. It's the everyman.
Yeah. And Moxley is the everyman nowadays. You know? Mm-hmm. He's the guy that's been pushed around. He's pissed off. Diamond Dallas Page was the everyman at that point. You know,
Stone Cold giving the finger to the boss.
Exactly.
We wish we were that guy. Yeah, I mean, we lived through this guy.
I know Stone Cold was the everyman, but I think Diamond Dallas had more of a connection with his fans than Stone Cold had with his.
It's because he was more grounded.
You know, yeah. Stone Cold
was more grounded in reality, yeah. And you've seen this guy come up. You know this guy is 40 years old, you know, earning his first title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like everybody else, you know, you've seen them as, you know, Stunning this or Hollywood that. This guy has been pretty much the same dude since Jump.
Yeah.
And you knew he was a manager. You knew he just started to learn how to wrestle. And now he's finally getting his.
Well, not me. I mean, when
he paid his dues.
When I was actually paying attention, because like I watched wrestling as a kid, but I wasn't like as a little kid. I wasn't watching wrestling as like religiously and keeping up with it like I do now.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just like, oh, it's on Saturday night, or oh, my cousin has a tape. You know, my dad's gonna order a pay-per-view, so I don't remember Diamond Dallas Page as a manager. I do remember looking back and seeing it, but yeah, I know what you're saying. All that.
Yeah. Yeah, he was more grounded in reality, and you believed it more.
Yeah. This match was, It had a few brief moments of where I really, really liked it. I really liked DDP. DDP has something, like I said, few wrestlers have, and it's the believability. Yeah, sense of the real man is what I was trying to say. That's what I typed down. Next up, our next match of the night, Eric Bischoff versus Larry Zbyszko with Bret the Hitman Hart as the special guest referee. Well, I don't know if he's Bret the Hitman Hart. He's probably Bret the Sharpshooter Hart in this one.
Yeah. Did Dusty just call him a tweener?
He said, listen, baby. Well, because Dusty, what's a tweener? And that's the thing. It's like, what is a tweener? I know everyone has a different explanation of what it is.
To me, it's Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. They get super pop doing heel things.
Yeah.
They don't mean to be faces because they're the crowd favorite.
Yeah.
But they're walking that in-between line.
Well, a lot of people were saying Bret Hart would be walking that in-between line because the entire build for this, Eric Bischoff was promoting Bret Hart, saying, oh, he's with us. He's going to join the NWO. There's nothing that can stop him or stop us because we are in control, as they say. And so technically he was a tweener at this point because no one knew where Bret stood. You know, like he is Bret Hart, and yeah, he is like Mr. Do-Gooder, no matter what. Like,
okay, by that definition, then Sting before Uncensored was a tweener. Yeah, because Sting never. Well, I don't want to say never, but for a long time, Sting didn't pick a side. He even came out with NWO one time.
Yeah. And
played the back. You know, he was playing the back. Even received the NWO shirt, never put it on, but he walked out with it. Yeah. So yeah, I guess sure. Okay, here it is. The tweener has two definitions: kayfabe and non-kayfabe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one a carny and everyman, a fan definition.
So Larry Zbyszko versus Eric Bischoff. Zbyszko comes out to the WCW Nitro theme because he's defending Nitro. I'm just like, all right. Yeah. Who created Larry Zbyszko in the video game and gave him they didn't have his theme available, so we gave him the Nitro theme.
Yeah.
Larry he's billed as having over 5,000 matches and as a two-time world champion. Eric comes out in gi pants and no shirt, which not a good look for him.
A little background on Larry Zbyszko. Good old Larry. When he was in the AWA, he was known as a martial artist and would come into the ring rocking nunchucks.
Okay.
It would have made a ton of sense if he brought those out to
if Eric would have brought them out to mock him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you're right. And of course, we know that Eric is very fluent in the martial arts because of one Ernest the Cat Miller teaching his kid and then teaching him.
So Eric is playing cat and mouse with Zbyszko, trying to strike and then run away. Eric finally comes in contact with a kick to the head of Zbyszko. Larry charges Eric, hits him with a series of strikes. Larry is rubbing Eric's face into the mat, and then Bret just breaks it up, saying there was a 5-count violation, which, shouldn't he just be DQ'd then?
Well, no, you're forced to break them, remember?
No,
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, no, they break it. Yeah.
Okay,
no.
I guess if they don't break it, then they're DQ'd.
Yeah.
So he breaks up that.
Yeah, he's more of an enforcer referee instead of your standard referees.
Larry then has Eric in a sleeper, but Bret breaks that up to I don't know. He breaks it up for some reason.
Hey, bro, it's a choke. You're choking him.
Larry then gets Eric down with a leg scissor takedown. He breaks up that hold as well, claiming it was an illegal choke.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like over and over, heel ref, heel ref, heel ref. So it's like, fuck, is he joining the NWO?
Yeah.
We get a scoop slam to a standing figure 4, which this is the first time I've ever seen a standing figure 4. I mean, I've probably seen it before.
Yeah, it's a very old move.
Yeah, it was probably done before. Old, yeah. I feel like Ric Flair's figure 4, they were like, oh my God, a laying down figure 4?
That must hurt more. My God.
So Brett is yelling in the face of Larry. He's like, you've been wrestling for too long, Larry. You forgot the rules. and whereas Larry replies, I hate him. I was like,
come on, let me go.
Come on. He hates him, Brett.
That was such a 10-year-old answer response. I hate him.
Brett pulls Larry off of Eric again, allowing Eric to hit Larry with a hard kick to the head. Bischoff then takes over with so many strikes in the corner, and it just starts going for too fucking. This match lasted way too long. We get a suplex to Eric, followed by a swinging neck breaker. Eric is put in the trio whoa, but Brett violently pulls Larry away, and Scott Hall loads Eric's boot with some sort of metal plate or something. Eric goes for this kick with the thing in it because he has like these pads all over his feet. They're like martial arts pads. Mm-hmm. And what do you say? Scott Hall put a piece of metal in it. Eric Bischoff goes for this kick. The piece of metal goes flying into the crowd.
Oh my God.
Which I'm like, oh.
I hope somebody's okay.
Hope everyone's all right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he goes for the kick, metal goes flying. Eric is celebrating, and Brett just looks like he's gonna like raise his hand because apparently this match is just a ref's discretion match.
Yeah.
Because like Eric is just celebrating like he won. He knocked Larry out, and he's just like, yeah, I won. And I'm like, are you a fucking idiot? Like, pin him. There's one thing you have to do in a wrestling match to win, and you haven't done it yet. So
well, that's how cocky he is. He loaded boot with my strong foot. I definitely knocked him out cold till yesterday.
Eric is celebrating. Brett looks at him like he's going to raise his hand, but then Brett strikes Eric Bischoff. Scott Hall charges Brett, but it gets put in the sharpshooter. Larry is choking Eric Bischoff with Eric's boot, I believe. Oh, his boot strap. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like sand. Remember when Justin Roberts was being choked by Daniel Bryan? Mm-hmm. It looked like that.
Yeah.
And then he gets up, and then Brett just raises Larry Zbyszko's hand. And
yeah, this guy won.
It was just like quiet, and everyone's like, Larry wins! Yeah!
I guess by DQ. I guess maybe he saw the metal piece flying out of his foot, and he was like, "Oh, you're disqualified, brother."
I don't know. I wanted to look it up. Let me see. Let's see. WCW. Which pay per view was this again? I'm blanking.
STARRCADE 97.
STARRCADE 1997. Good. That's like the first thing when you put WCW pops up. So let's see. Larry Zbyszko singles. Oh no, defeated. Oh, by disqualification. You're right. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you were right, Jose.
And I got to give Eric Bischoff props. As bad as this match could have been, it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean,
it could. It wasn't Luger Buff Bagwell.
Well, you know what it was?
Better than that.
It had stakes. There were stakes involved, and not chop steak. These were delicious steaks. It was WCW Nitro that they were fighting for.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But, I'll give Eric Bischoff his props. He didn't look out of place.
Yeah. Yeah. So next up we have Sting versus Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight Championship. So this is young Sting, and he comes out to the ring
looking great
through the back. Okay, so see, this is where I have to kind of disagree with you because
yeah, a lot of people I've read and I've seen a lot of people say that he came in according to Eric Bischoff's words, he came in out of shape and without a tan. Now, whoa. Don't you want Sting without a tan? This mofo's been hanging out in the rafters. He hasn't been hanging out in Venice Beach. He's been following you guys around.
I'll agree with the no tan thing. I'll agree with the no tan thing, as in I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Because he is the Crow character, so he shouldn't necessarily. He lurks in the night. He shouldn't have a tan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he did
now,
like his arms looked like this. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, I wouldn't say like that, but he didn't come in slimmer. And let's not forget, maybe when was the steroid trials? Maybe a year prior to this, maybe 2 years before this.
I don't know.
The whole time Sting's been on the shelf.
Yeah,
this guy, he probably got off the juice, man.
Well,
and he's not throwing up 355.
It could be. They were in '94.
This is 3 years later. He just spent 18 months on the shelf.
So yeah. So
okay,
apparently,
fine. So the guy doesn't want to fucking take steroids anymore. So he lost a little bit of weight. Look at Hogan. He came in looking nothing like he looked like 3 years ago. Sting looked in like he had a swimmer's body, I would say.
So they both come into the ring. Hogan does say something to Nick Patrick at the beginning of this match.
I kind of wanted you to look at that.
He does say something. I mean, I don't know what he says. I couldn't really, figure it out. But he says something to him at the beginning of this match. It's definitely noticeable the first time watching.
And
so we'll get there. I'll just
highlight this point that you're making. Hogan does say, no, we're not doing that. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what he says afterwards. I wish I did. But he definitely, Nick Patrick asked him a question. Are we doing this? And Hogan said, no. Please continue.
Okay, so the seed is planted. He talks to Nick Patrick before the bell rings. Hogan is playing to the crowd as Hogan usually does because Hogan, he wrestles the same as a face that he does as a heel. He works the
ever
crowd.
Since the beginning. Yeah.
He wrestles one match. Hogan takes over, beating down on Sting in the corner. Sting hits a drop kick to Hogan. Sting wearing down Hogan with a side headlock. We get a shoulder tackle to Sting. They battle on the outside. Sting is slammed onto the belt. Hogan uses the bat on Sting in front of the ref in a world title match. Okay, if it was supposed to be the heel ref thing, I get, but they didn't even bring it up. It's like sometimes like people just use weapons and they're like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Just pretend like it didn't happen, guys.
No, and
it's not like you know what it was in '97. They're like, it's not like there are like radio shows that review these from start to finish. That'll never happen.
It's just gonna be some lousy magazine.
Exactly. Some newsletter. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it makes sense that Hogan would do that because he's the heel and he's the bad. He gets disqualified. He keeps the title. Yeah. Done deal. But no, everybody just ignores it as it's a punch.
Hogan evades a Stinger splash. Sting goes into the barricade. Sting is crouched on the barricade. An atomic drop to Sting. Then we get a big boot and a leg drop to Sting by Hulk Hogan, and the pin. And so he goes down.
It's a squash.
Leg drop, pin, 1, 2, 3.
It's a squash.
Clean finish.
And a squash. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sting. So it was supposed to be a fast count. Why Nick Patrick didn't do the fast, and it's confirmed that it was supposed to be a fast count. Mm-hmm. Eric Bischoff confirmed that. Dave Meltzer's even reported that. Everyone has confirmed that this was supposed to be a fast count.
Or else, why is Bret Hart even out there to begin with? He tells Nick Patrick it was a fast count.
Well, hold on, exactly. So then, it's like everyone's like, what's going on? What's happening? Before the bell rings, Bret Hart grabs the bell and says, oh, listen, Seth Rollins, he's not a safe worker. But, I'm not here for that. I'm here to say I'm not letting this happen again, He's here to say that he's not going to let this happen again, which would make sense if Earl Hebner was there too, or Dave Hebner, whatever. Can't let this happen again. So that begs the question, what was said between Nick Patrick and Hulk Hogan before the match, and why was that done? Yeah. Me personally, go on. What were you going to say?
The whole story, as told by the internet to me during my, many research sessions.
Sit down, Jose. We have something to tell you.
So, word around the campfire is that all day, there was negotiations going on between Hogan, Bischoff, and Sting. None of them in the same room together. Like it was all word of mouth, well, Sting doesn't want to do this. Well, Hogan doesn't want to do that. And Eric Bischoff was being negotiator. But at the same time, Eric Bischoff said, these guys, he went on record, these guys are the talent. They're the wrestlers. They know what they're doing. We know that the finish is going to be Sting wins. Sting gets the title. He gets put over. How are we going to get there? I'm going to leave that up to the wrestlers, which is bullshit. Bull. We know that he's in Hulk's back pocket, and he's negotiating for Hogan the whole time. No one really knew what was going on.
Oh, Bischoff?
I'm telling you, yeah.
See, I agree with you about 90% of this, but I think there was just like Bischoff wanted one thing, and I think Hogan wanted his thing, and I think Sting was like, okay, are we going to do this storyline that was said to me? So it's three different things going on, and
yeah, 100%.
Everyone tried
and Sting also said, you know what, you guys figure it out. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Well, I think
like,
Bischoff...
No, Sting, you're going to get fast counted. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Okay, cool. Whatever you guys want to do, I'll do it. I'll do that. And all the interviews I saw, Sting was very agreeable. Now, do we know that for a fact? No. These guys, a lot of them could be prima donnas that we don't know about.
Hogan?
I'm a huge...
Hogan, really, Hogan, you think? I don't know about that.
I'm a huge Sting mark, so I'm gonna Sting, whatever you say, I believe you. So yeah, that was the word. I think, me personally, that Nick Patrick was left in the dark for the longest. So when he got to the ring, he said, "Okay, so Hulk, we doing this fast count thing, right?" Hogan responds, "What? No, nah, we're doing it legit, straight." Okay, that's what we're doing, and that's why we have the situation we have here. And that's why this fucking company is in the shape it is, because of bullshit like this.
Hey, bro. This is before the bro was there.
Yeah, you're right.
So Bret Hart. So back to what was going on. Hogan gets the pin on Sting. Bret Hart stops the bell from ringing. He says, I'm not going to let this happen again. We get a stinger splash to Hogan. NWO comes out.
Sting is re-energized. See that splash that he nails? He almost dives out of the ring.
NWO Sting fights off the NWO. Sting applies the Scorpion Deathlock while pointing at Bret, which I thought was I thought that was a really cool moment. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of smiled at that. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out Bret. Check it out.
Hogan taps out. Oh.
For the record, I like the Scorpion Deathlock better than the Sharpshooter.
Yeah,
because of the ease that it's applied in.
Have you ever been put in either of them?
I have put my little brother in it.
I got put in the Sharpshooter once, and it was the most excruciating pain to my shins I've ever felt.
The Sharpshooter or the
Sharpshooter
Deathlock?
Or whatever. It's the same thing.
Okay. No, it's different.
I mean, I guess it's different as in like the Lion Tamer compared to the Walls of Jericho, but it's not different as in like the Lion Tamer compared to the Sharpshooter.
Well, one's done Goofy Foot. If
Okay.
you're a skateboard fan, one's done Goofy Foot. And I think Bret's is done Goofy Foot.
Yeah.
Like Sting feels more natural to put somebody in. But okay, I digress.
So Hogan taps out. We get the submission victory. We get a new WCW World Champion. Sting wins the title. The entire WCW locker room comes out to celebrate.
And me too. I was like, yeah.
And for some reason, after 15 months of not saying a word, Sting yells into the camera, "Mamacita!"
Okay,
I was like,
little backstory there.
What?
Remember, he's celebrating with everybody. He's mingling around the crowd. He makes his way to like Rey Mysterio and El Calo and
Hector Garza,
whoever's there, and they're talking to him in Spanish. So Sting, excited, he mumbles a whole bunch of shit. He's like, but it's you couldn't get it because the mic didn't pick it up. But what the mic did pick up was him yelling, "Mamacita!" Oh my God, Sting, what are you doing?
So now, yeah. See, what I wrote down as because I did research after we watched it, and I was trying to write down like what I thought of this match before I did the research, and it doesn't really apply now. So, what I was gonna say is that like, I thought Bret. See, I originally thought Bret screwed just by watching this because how it was portrayed. I thought Bret just screwed Hogan. Like they were like, "Fuck the NWO, they got to get out of here anyways." By hook or crook,
they cheat all the time. I'm cheating this time.
By hook or crook,
Okay.
And if it's a war, then I get that. You know what I mean? Totally get that. Like, we got to win by any means necessary. Cool. But Bret Hart is also the guy, like, he's like the Boy Scout of wrestling. Like, he's rarely ever going to cheat.
No, he's the traditions guy. He's the, skill over conniving ways. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But
he's a Mountie, not a Boy Scout.
So 15 months
18
of build, 18 months? 18 months of build. Yeah. One of the biggest title matches probably the biggest title match in 90s WCW history. I will say in WCW history.
I would say this is the biggest, well, okay, not actual matches, but I would say this is the biggest build ever in all professional wrestling ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
There was no build like this.
I mean, you can compare like Rock and Austin, but
yeah, that was cool. But nothing had the mystique of this. You know what I mean? You really hated Hogan. You really, really hated him. Even if you were an NWO fan, you still hated Hogan.
Everyone fucking hated Hogan, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I told you my cousin, when he found out Hogan joined the NWO as kids, he had one of those plush dolls. Remember those ones? They were like pillows.
The Wrestle Buddies.
Wrestle Buddies. Yeah.
Huh?
He found out Hogan turned heel. He ripped the head off. He cut the head off.
Oh my god!
And I remember. I was like, ooh, he's not a fan anymore. But that was.
And I had a bunch of friends back then, right? We're all wrestling fans when we were little tykes. But I was like, yo, you guys got to watch this new wrestling shit. Hogan is a bad guy. And wait, what? Hogan's a bad guy? And I brought a ton of people on board just with that sentence alone.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like, WCW really, like, wrestling became so popular. And I keep going back to the Nitro before. But they were doing, remember those contests where it was like be featured on Nitro with your Nitro party? Remember Nitro parties were like a thing?
Yeah,
colleges would all get together and they're like, oh, this guy Ryan Newman, in Wichita, Kansas, he won this week, and it showed this like video of like 50 fucking college guys in a room watching a TV smaller than the one behind me, watching one TV smaller than the one behind me, in like
tube,
in like a like one of those giant like a fraternity mansion or some shit. But it's just funny, like that kind of stuff. That's how popular it was.
One guy dressed like Macho Man, another guy dressed like Sting. Yeah,
exactly. So
there's always a Macho Man. Do you notice that?
Oh, there's always a Macho Man, dude.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's why I dressed like John Cena that one time.
There you go.
Anyways, that was not Survivor Series. That was Starrcade 1997. It is in the books. It is signed off on. So.
Oh, and things get worse from there, ladies and gentlemen. The Monday Nitro that follows up is insane. The Thunder that follows this is
the first
insane.
Thunder, right?
Yeah, it's the first Thunder. That is insane. This is the moment WCW jumped the shark, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, talk about things getting worse. It is now my turn to pick the pay-per-view for January. January shows one thing. One thing comes to mind, and that's my birthday. That's right, folks.
Oh, what a tease.
I'm just going to pick one this for the next month. Next month, January 2022.
Which Rumble is it?
We're going to go back 29 years to Royal Rumble 1993.
Ooh, all right.
Wait, right?
Is there some highlights?
That's the one. I hope that's the one. The right one. Hold on. That was a good setup too, but it's all ruined because I'm a dork sometimes. Okay, Royal Rumble.
Don't worry.
Let's see. I think it's 93. Because there was some other ones I wanted to review, but I felt like 1993 was the best one because it took place in Northern California. That's right, from the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California.
What?
Royal Rumble 1993. Bret Hart versus, that's right, the Chico himself, Razor Ramon, in the main event.
And this ties perfectly because Bret Hart does go into a program with Scott Hall after this whole Starrcade debacle.
Yeah.
All right.
So It took place January 24th, 1993, but we will review it and have it for
Right.
you.
Any other little highlights you want to give? Any little teases?
Oh, well, I'll say the Royal Rumble, this one, is huge.
All right.
And I hate saying it like that because...
yeah, if you're teasing like Gigante Gonzalez,
No.
I'm going to hate you so much.
No, I'm not. Anyways, guys, that about does it here for us tonight. We might see you before the new year. I think we will. I think we'll have something up for the New Year's, looking back at the year of 2021. Something we'll figure out by then. But nonetheless, we're going to get out of here for today. I'm Corey Smith.
I'm Jose Oseguera.
And we will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Later.